devil always wants to get in the way of what you got next. When you wake up and you say, oh my God, I'm having just a bad day, and I just feel so terrible. You don't think the devil right there listening? He listening.
Right.
Oh, you already having a bad day already? Let's make it worse. And my grandma was literally the best grandma ever. When she took me in at 5 after I had been raped by my mom's boyfriend at 5, I was scared for my life, and the man had threatened to kill me for telling on him. When they buried her, she said, Coco, tell him I said bury me face down so all these motherfuckers can kiss my ass.
That's where you got it from.
To be able to put 15, 16,000 fans inside of a building in women's boxing, being a black girl from Flint, Michigan, has never happened.
What's one thing your grandma gave you that you carry into the ring with you today?
And my grandma said, Coco, come here. And I said, yes, Granny. She was like, tell Tammy I said, get me the fuck out of here. God told me it ain't time for me to go yet. Get me the fuck out of here.
If you could sit beside that 10-year-old girl in Flint, Michigan, what would you whisper in her ear about the road ahead?
But I would tell my younger self, listen.
Welcome back to Elevating Beyond. I'm sitting here with Claressa Shields almost 24 hours before the fight.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being here today.
For sure.
I just saw the tail end of your weigh-in in downtown Detroit. They had it like blocked off.
Yeah.
That you have some love from the city of Detroit. I have not seen anything like that.
Yeah, I think it's Detroit mixed with Jersey, mixed with Flint, mixed with Pontiac, mixed with Ohio, Texas, Brooklyn. They came from everywhere for this fight. Georgia, everywhere.
I was like, wait, this is the way? I was like a block away and I could hear like people announcing and stuff. I'm like, is this a concert?
Yeah,
no, it's the weigh-in.
They might as well have let me rap. Should let me drop something.
I saw you guys holding a checkup before we get to that with Leila Ali, and she was asking, separate from all this, for $15 million. And I randomly saw a clip. Ruben's like, I'm gonna be coming up with it. And then I see all of you guys together, him holding a checkup for $15 million. And I saw that right before my flight, and I just want to know, because everyone's been watching that viral back and forth, has there been any updates from that? Has she responded?
No, I don't know when her response will be, but we're not gonna wait on it too long, because I got other fights to happen at the end of the year. But I would love to still get her in January and February, and then, you know, continue on with what I want to do with my career and my life. But I think giving her 6 or 7 months to get ready, and T-Mobile is ready to host a fight. The Cowboy Stadium is ready to host a fight. So they got dates and stuff already verbally agreed on for us to do a fight with Leila Ali. So if she's down for it and she wants the 15 mil and she want to negotiate or talk, I'm quite sure we could get it done. But we haven't heard anything yet.
The fight you have tomorrow, though, that's at Little Caesars Arena, is that, what, 15,000 people?
It's going to be over 15,000.
And it's close to sold out, if not sold out?
Yeah, very close to being sold out. Yep.
Wow.
Super exciting times.
Since it's so close to the fight, like, what are you feeling just like right now?
I don't really feel nothing, you know what I'm saying? I feel like I want to drink and eat my food, and I feel grateful for, you know, that all my fans are here, you know, and that I've been getting like so much love, and, you know, had over 40 VIPs and people really coming out to show me support. 70% of the tickets sold has been to women, and that's very different.
Oh, wow.
You know, very different, especially like in the sport of boxing. It's usually the men who's always shown a lot of support. Now it's the women and the men, but 71% of the ticket sales were by women. So, you know, if you're single, I think the place to be in the house on Saturday night is at Little Caesars. You can find you a single lady in there.
Anton, I got my beautiful African queen from Sierra Leone for almost 19 years, so I'm not taking the bait on that one.
Oh no, that wasn't bait. I said all the single men. All the men that's taken, you know. I said single.
There's still some seats left. Something that I've continued to notice is people that have gone through adversity, it either like will break them and they may turn out some kind of way, or they're able to like transfer it into almost like a superpower. And I mean, in the movie, it openly shows your mom struggling with addiction, your dad in and out of prison, alcohol addiction. It's open about you being sexually abused. a little girl in Flint, Michigan, and from what I understood, a lot of the time, like, you were raised by your grandma, or your grandma
I moved with my grandma at the age of 5 and stayed with her till I was 10.
Okay.
Yep.
But she had a huge impact on your life.
Yeah, she raised me. That's how I know how to cook, how to clean, how to talk.
Yeah.
My family thought I was deaf because I couldn't talk until I was 5. But it wasn't that I couldn't talk, it's that I didn't want to talk to people. That was it. And my grandma understood that, because when I was alone with her, she clearly seen I knew how to talk. I just was around people who didn't give me the time to get it out, because I stuttered pretty bad. But she taught me how to, you know, slow down and think about the words I want to say, then say them. And when they did think that I was deaf, she taught me sign language. And, you know, I know a little bit of sign language, and taught me how to play cards, how to play checkers, taught me how to cook, read her poems to me. Like, my grandma was a lot to me. That's why I wear Coco on the front of my shorts in remembrance of her. You know, my grandma's name was Joanne Adams. She wrote poems, she sang, she won awards. She was, I mean, everybody felt like their grandma is the best grandma ever, and my grandma was literally the best grandma ever. You know, when she took me in at 5 after I had been raped by my mom's boyfriend at 5, when she took me in, you know, I was scared for my life, and the man had threatened to kill me for telling on him. And my grandma wasn't letting nothing happen to me. Like, you guys think I'm tough. My grandma was taller than me. She was about 220. Her hands were big and solid. And hey, if she smacked you or hit you, you definitely know you got hit. So I think it runs in my family with my grandma being. Is that where you got it from? My great grandma is a hard ass and still fight to this day, and she's in a nursing home. And my grandma would knock your head off. My mom is a fighting mother effer too. Yeah. From me to my sister to my niece. So it's really generation to generation. We have a line of very strong women in my family. With your grandma, like, throughout your journey, and when you think about it, what's one thing your grandma gave you, like, whether it's a phrase or a gesture or even just like that killer instinct look, that you carry into the ring with you today? My grandma was way meaner than me, you know, and I never understood why, but she told me. I think I seen her 2 weeks before she passed. I was in the 10th grade, and she had been fighting cancer off and on. And I seen her, and she said, I seen her, and she was upset, and she just was like, Coco, you know, when I pass away, don't be letting everybody come up to my funeral and be kissing all on me like they cared about me. I said, Grandma, you crazy. You're not gonna die no time soon. And she said, Coco, look at me. She was like, it's getting toward the end, you know, and I was like, whatever, because my grandma was supposed to pass away when I was 13, and they told her she had a week to live with cancer. Oh, wow. And we were in the hospital, and all the family is going crazy. Auntie's crying, mama crying, and my grandma was hooked up to this machine, and they were telling her she had a week to live, the doctor, and that they basically wanted to keep her at the hospital so she can die in comfort or whatever. And everybody freaking out, and my grandma said, Coco, come here. And I said, yes, Granny. She was like, tell Tammy, I said, get me the fuck out of here. God told me it ain't time for me to go yet. Get me the fuck out of here. And I went over to my auntie, and I said, because she was crying and having a hard time, I said, hey, Granny told me, pull your shit together and get her the fuck up out of here. She was like, what? I said, she want to leave. So I said, she just told me that she want to leave. So we got her all unhooked, put her clothes on. She couldn't walk. So we all carried her to the car, and we got her on up out of there. And she lived another year and a half later. So she just wanted to be home. She wanted to be home, and she wanted to die on her own terms. So the hospital gave her a week. She said, y'all not God. Y'all can't tell me when it's time for me to go. And she's like, and if I am gonna die, I don't want to die in here. She's pulling the Tupac. We're like just pulling out the IVs and stuff. We got her up out of there, and she went home, and we had, you know, a few more holidays together. She passed away December 22nd, right before Christmas. Her birthday was November 6th, so I got to spend another birthday with her. And I stayed with my grandma from age 5 to 10, and then I stayed with her in my 9th grade year. So 10th grade, I moved back with my mom, and that's when she passed. But she told me, something that stuck with me is, she told me that when they buried her, she said, Coco, tell them I said bury me face down so all these motherfuckers can kiss my ass.
I've never heard that.
So when it comes to
that might be the best thing I've ever.
so when it comes to the spunk, you know, she said, bury me face down and tell all these motherfuckers they can kiss my ass.
Oh my God.
And I'll never forget it.
That's where you got it from.
Yeah, like when it comes to my attitude, it's like, look, at the end of the day, it is what it is, and I'm gonna stay true to who I am. And my grandma was very, very stern. Like, she was not a lady to be played with. Like I said, she'd go upside your head, but she ain't the type to let everybody just come around, hang around, and be in her house and all that. Oh, grandma was so strict, and she taught me to protect your energy and love those that love you. And I mean, she took care of everybody kids in the family, everybody kids. But when it came time for people to come through for her, nobody showed up, you know. And well, people showed up, like my aunt, my mom, me. But for everybody who she did stuff for, they didn't show up for her like that. And I just always kept that. And she was like, Coco, just know. She always told me, always have your own money. Always have your own stuff. She was like, because when a man don't love you no more, she said he don't care about how you eat or what you drive. She taught me that too. So my grandma was very stern and was a go-getter, and I never seen her spend money on no food. She always had food stamps, hundreds of them, hundreds. She walk in there, we got 3 baskets walking out the store. 3 baskets full, food, cereal, meats. She had a deep freezer. She kept meat in there. Her house never had food shortage. I had a grandma like that. Like, my grandma was just, she cooked for the whole block. Used to make hot tamales. Like, I can talk about my grandma all day. She was a great example for me. And had I not seen her be so strong and be herself, I wouldn't be comfortable being so strong and being myself. So she instilled a lot in me. And I carry her with me to these fights. And I carry her in my spirit. And that's why I have the attitude is, you don't fuck with me, I won't fuck with you. That's how I am.
Is that like a big foundation of your why? Is to like when something is to knock you down, like whether in the ring or something hard in life, of like this other thing comes in you that's your grandma, like I've got to get back up. You got to get back up, and remember, just put one foot in front of the other. That's been the main thing for me throughout this camp and throughout this past, year and a half. Just get up and put one foot in front of the other. Every day is not glitz and glam. I don't have great days in the gym all the time. Right. I'm tired sometimes. I'm sore. I'm annoyed. I'm aggravated. I want to crash out. But instead, I take the high road and I just keep putting one foot in front of the other. And one day I'm going to get to where I'm going to get to. That part. Sorry, this is so... No one sees that. People, there's a guy, a good friend of mine, New York Times bestselling author, has a quote like, if you do the work you love, you'll never work another day of your life. I get what he's saying, but I'm like, no, if you do the work you're passionate about, you're actually going to work harder than you've ever had to work in your life. But because it's connected to your why, on those days when you don't feel, or even when it is, because there's days where you don't, people, they see you up there like in the weigh-in or on all the shows, but they don't see the behind the scenes. They think like you're waking up out of bed every day at like 4 a.m. and 5 a.m. like, yes, no, I gotta go train my ass off today till I puke. But it's that's why I don't like my opponents. It's not always like that. That's why I don't like my opponents, because I gotta train so hard to just go in there and just beat them down. You know what I'm saying? And make them quit and knock them out. Like, that makes me dislike my opponents, even though they didn't really do nothing. And it's our jobs to do that. But it's like, girl, you shouldn't even show up. You know I'm gonna kick your ass anyway. So that's where I'll be like, you know what? I don't like my opponents until after the fight. But I just know that that helps you to. I love boxing, but like you said, nobody sees the hard stuff, and people don't think that it's hard. People think that what I do is just super easy, and I'm like, well, you know what? If it's so easy, why all the other girls don't have the same accomplishments? Why all the other women don't have the millions of followers? Why all the other women don't have a strong brand with, their whole community behind them, being able to sell 15, 16,000 and headline the bill? Why can't the other women do that if we're all the same? In my younger years, when I got in trouble and all this nonsense, I used to honestly think people were born. Like Kobe Bryant, I remember when he was like young and 17 and got into the NBA, and I was just thinking like, it must be nice. You're just born with all the talent and skill. And then I learned as I studied that dude, I'm like, wait, the night he's 17, got like, I don't know, like a $40 million contract. Don't quote me on that.
Yeah.
Everyone else goes out and parties. He goes to the gym.
To the gym.
This is what I've continued to see, like in my own life and in and I want everyone listening to this, like this should give you hope that if you're willing to work your ass off.
Put the work in. And consistency is something that is...
over time.
Consistency is something that everybody overlooks. Everybody can do it for a month, for 2 months, 3 months. But them New Year's resolutions at the beginning of the year, you don't even know what they are by the time it gets to May and June. But I tell you, if you be consistent from January, it takes. I feel like how I changed my life, right? I started boxing at the age of 11. And then by 13, I was preparing for the Olympics when I turned 17, right? And I remember
that's so crazy.
Somebody telling me, you got to throw a punch 10,000 times to get it down. 10,000. So 10,000 jabs, 10,000 right hands, uppercuts, hooks. You got to throw all this stuff 10,000 times in order just to get it
just to be good.
Just to be good.
Not to be like
not to be
excellent.
Great.
Yeah.
And I just remember I always was consistent. It was days when I was at the gym, nobody else was there. It was days when I was running on the weekends and I didn't see my partners there, see my see the training kids there. But my coach, hey, we're gonna run at 6 o'clock in the morning all the way from Beecher to Flint. And when I was running all the way from Beecher to Flint, my coach was right there in his van, right there next to me, but majority of the time, 95% of the time, it was just me. On Saturdays when he said, hey, I'm gonna come in and train y'all for an hour, I would come on Saturday, he'd train us for an hour. And I was always the only one there.
No one sees that. And you still are the one that's doing that.
Consistency, but that's how I won the Olympics at 17. So many hours spent, you know, the black eyes, the busted noses, the busted lips. 11 till 17, consistent. And everybody want just like, everybody want this overnight success that, you know, social media promises you, you know? They all want the 1 million subscribers or the $100,000 plaque. And it's that's
a grind to get that.
Listen, I got 182,000 subscribers. And when I tell you, when I was at 70 something, I said, I don't even want to, this is too much.
I almost quit. I almost quit my
You got like 300, 400
well,
subscribers?
There was a time when I got my head of I've been doing that for 10 years. And I also have a company for people with developmental disabilities I've been doing for 18 years.
Okay.
And there was a time when I remember I was like, some of the videos would just get like 10 views, 24. But something in me just kept being like, no, this isn't about you. It's about who we help. And then 10 years later, it's an overnight success. Yeah,
kinda.
But like going through that in between, when you're putting the work in and not seeing the public results, that's that consistency. That's what most people.
No, they don't see that. But I'll tell you what, if God showed you the end goal of everything, let's say 1 million subscribers and you got billions of dollars, right? Yeah. If God showed you that and told you this is the end goal, but then he said, but to get there, if he told you, you got to go through this, you're going to get some money and you're going to lose all your money. And then you're going to get married and then she's going to take all your money again.
Oh, no.
And then you're going to... No, so I'm just saying like, if God showed you everything in between and said, do you still want to do this?
Right.
What would you say?
No.
That's why you got to trust the process.
Guy. Yeah.
So he's not going to tell you.
It builds your faith. Wouldn't you say too, going after your dreams and purpose? Because I've heard you talk about God, and I personally believe in God. Like I was in jail, I almost died, and I've learned from doing business, building, it has brought me closer to God. Yes. Because in those moments, like he'll show you like little things of the end vision. Yeah. But then it's like, you're gonna have to figure out how to get there. You gotta go through. You're gonna have to have faith. Listen, right before I won the Olympics, 3 months before, I lost my first fight. I was undefeated. And then I lost the fight right before the Olympics. I'm 17 years old. I done ran through every tournament I ever fought in. I go to China
and I lose.
Let me know if you agree with this. I've kind of learned every time before you are about to break through to another level.
Yeah.
It's like everything tests you.
Everything.
That you already overcame. And it tries to be like, how bad do you really want this next level? And it tries, even mentally.
Yeah.
Like, I'll start having doubts and stuff that I haven't had for like 10 years. And I'm like, why is that? It's so weird how all that stuff happens. And then I've had to kind of retrain my brain, like, wait a second.
Yeah.
This isn't God trying to stop me.
There you go.
This is the enemy.
There you go.
And this means I'm actually on the way to the next level.
The devil always wants to get in the way of what you got next. The devil, like, oh, he think he want to get there. You gotta outsmart the devil. And I tell people this all the time. You know, when you wake up and you say, oh my God, I'm having just a bad day, and I just feel so terrible. You don't think the devil right there listening? He listening.
Right.
Oh, you already having a bad day already? Okay, let's make it worse. Hey, I'm about to have Tammy call him. Hey, Tammy. Call him and say this. So Tammy's having a terrible day. Now she's calling you. Now you're having a terrible. You're already having a bad day.
All the weight stuff, yeah.
And then like, you know, and then I'm gonna have his mom call him and ask him for some money. Hey, call him. And then like all this stuff is happening. So you gotta trick the devil and let him know that you gotta get him to be like, oh, I feel so good today.
Right. Because he's not this dude in a red tail and a pitchfork.
Yeah.
It's the little things, or like the thoughts. And then what I've learned with that is, I always say, because God is orchestrating, because when you continue to be the worldwide champ at a whole other level and you're filling arenas, it's going to be so much bigger than that, because God's also continually using your platform to help change the lives. I mean, look at your story of what you've been through.
Yeah.
And God's like, boxing was a piece of it. I mean, I'm just speaking through what I see.
No, absolutely.
And because I think it was Steve Harvey that said, like, if the devil's not trying to stop you, you're not dreaming big enough.
Yeah, and that's the thing. So you think that you went through a lot at a certain level. So this level put you through this. But as you elevate, it's a different level. And now it's a different devil you got to fight. Then another level, a different devil. So new levels, new devils, but you deal with them all the same.
On my notes.
Okay, you deal with them all the same, and it's the truth. But it doesn't mean that it gets easier. It's like, but you know what to do to beat this. You know how to beat this opponent right here. The devil can be beat. God been beating him forever.
Right.
But the only way you can beat the devil is you got to team up with God and let the devil know you're not stopping nothing. Listen, I've been saying all week to all my haters, y'all ain't stopped shit yet. Because when they can't take you one-on-one, they all go team up.
I know.
And then when they team up, they coming at you every single day from different angles, and it gets frustrating. But then when you get to the end goal, you be like, oh, it's another level up.
Right.
You be like, oh, shoot. You got to look them in the face, tell them, you still ain't stopped nothing, hater.
And that's the process, too, because the whole overnight success, I want this from here to here.
Yeah.
You don't realize that what you learn along the way equips you, so when you get here, everything you learn here allows you to maintain.
Preach.
At that level, you know? And then, like, you get broken again. And then everything you learn there helps you to maintain that other level, or else it would all just crumble.
But you know what? While you're saying that with these overnight successors, right? When they go from here and somebody give them a handout or somebody do something that they feel so they go from here to here, then something happens because they never dealt with the devil that was here.
Right.
So now they up here, and then you see them all crash down, and they never rebuild.
Yeah, it's when you go up quick, you go down quick.
But they don't even understand that if you just go through the levels, and if you do fall off, you could never fall off back here again because you really learned going up. So you fall off a little bit, and then you can still build. But when you just, you didn't have to go through nothing. So now when you do fall off and deal with that big devil up here, and now you're like, dang, how do I get all this back? I used to have millions of dollars. I used to have all these clothes and chains and cars. Now I'm homeless. I need help. I'm on drugs. And then you like, you don't even know how you got here. So how you supposed to get back here?
And when you go through the process and the levels like you're talking about, like when you do get knocked back, you can lose your money, you can lose that, but no one can take away the wisdom that you've gained along the way.
Knowledge. I tell them that once you teach me something, it's mine.
Yeah.
If you teach me something, then you
apply it too.
When I got taught how to save money, it was over. I said, this how you save? So basically you don't spend, and what you do get, I'm a 75-25er.
What is that?
So if I get $1 million, 250,000 of it is play. But I save
Smart.
$750K in my other account that I don't touch. Sometime I'll be like, it's none that I want to buy that's 250K. So now I'm gonna put 800K or 900K over here, and then the other 100, I'm like, let me help my family, let me help some friends, let me buy me some stuff, let me update my house, whatever. I'll do that. But that's how you save. When you get money, 75,
that's how you build
25.
that long-term wealth, from rich to being wealthy.
Talk your talk.
Yeah. So if you could sit beside that 10-year-old girl in Flint, Michigan, who was carrying more pain than any child should, you wouldn't just give her advice, you'd probably hold her for a moment first. What would you whisper in her ear about the road ahead?
I would tell my 10-year-old self, because I think back then I understood real talk, I don't like people give me bullshit. I like people been talking to me like I'm grown since I was younger. So at 10 years old, I would have told myself, hey, listen, it's not going to be easy, but you're not the only one, and those who continue to press forward will get somewhere. There's no need to quit. And it was times when I was start boxing at 13, 14, 15, 17, 20, where I wanted to quit boxing. Even after I won the Olympic gold medal at 17, I wanted to quit after that. Didn't get any endorsements, any sponsorships. But I would tell my younger self, listen, the world is not really ready for you yet, but that don't mean that you're not supposed to be here. So I would tell her, just keep marching forward, keep getting better, keep believing in God, and knowing that it's all gonna work out. Now, when it's gonna work out, who knows? But I would tell her, it's strength in the struggle. Right. And it really is. And that's what I would tell her. And I think my 10-year-old self would look at me and say, strength in the struggle. And I think that would keep her going.
To help her to understand that this adversity and stuff you're going through is actually
building you.
Your strength.
I feel like all the stuff that I've been through, I feel like I'm the Beyonce of boxing. All this stuff that happened, I just continue to elevate, get better, win more championships, win more belts, win gold medals, break records, get ESPYs, get a biopic, all this stuff. It's just if I can do all this stuff with all the things that I went through, imagine what somebody can do who didn't go through this stuff.
Oh.
It's like you guys get kind of a head start.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Well, listen, everyone. Tomorrow night, Little Caesars Arena, Claressa versus Lani Daniels, defending your undisputed heavyweight world championship.
Yes.
And I'm going to call it out now. Soon after that, we'll be seeing you for the biggest payout in female boxing history against Leila Ali.
Yeah, if she, accepts the check. But
no matter what, you're going to be filling up.
No matter what.
Filling up arenas. What were you doing?
Filling up arenas.
Remember when you were going to be filling up those arenas?
Selling pay-per-views. It's only up from here. To be able to put 15, 16,000 fans inside of a building in women's boxing, being a black girl from Flint, Michigan, has never happened. Not even a black man from Flint, Michigan can do this, and even up in Detroit. So it's just this is huge, and I'm not going to take it lightly, and I'm going out there tomorrow and show you why I'm the greatest woman of all time.
The quote, greatest woman of all time, never settle, never give up, and keep elevating beyond.